How's it going, guys? Today we're going to be talking about the much beloved series published by Sega in the early 2000s, Super Monkey Ball. But it may not be the Super Monkey Ball you're thinking of. Now, you may be thinking about Super Monkey Ball for the GameCube. There was Super Monkey Ball 1, Super Monkey Ball 2, both great games on the GameCube, right? But no. See, today we're going to be talking about a lesser-known Super Monkey Ball Jr. for the Game Boy Advance. It's Junior, I guess, because it's tiny? I don't know. But first, a little background information. So the original Super Monkey Ball came out actually as an arcade game. And here's a little look at that. See, you got this little, look at that. Yeah, they really went with, we're going to use a banana, an upright banana as a joystick, which was certainly an interesting choice, I'll say that. Maybe it's brave, you know, not, I don't know. You really got to get a good grip on that banana there, you know what I mean? But in later iterations, somebody said, hey, maybe an upright banana joystick, maybe a little bit sus, I don't know, man. So they changed it to a giant glowing rainbow ball, which is cool, right? Giant glowing rainbow balls, I'm all for that. But anyways, later that year in 2001, they released Super Monkey Ball for the GameCube, which really kind of blew up the Super Monkey Ball franchise. It was kind of the originator of all the hype around Super Monkey Ball. Again, about 1 year later, they released Super Monkey Ball 2 in 2002 for the GameCube as well. But what we're here for today is the third of the at-home console releases for Super Monkey Ball, and that is Super Monkey Ball Jr. for the Game Boy Advance. That's right, you can now play Super Monkey Ball on the go, anywhere you want. Doctor's office, on a train, in a box with a fox. Wherever you want to play it, you know, provided you have a fixed light source like, I don't know, the sun or a lamp or a flashlight under your blanket, right? Yeah, so the original reflective Game Boy screen was pretty terrible. That's why I put a backlit screen mod in my Game Boy that I use. You know, when I was a kid playing with my flashlight under the blankets using that little worm light thingy, it was great, right? But now that I've grown and I've experienced like really good, you know, high definition monitors, OLED, all that stuff, going back to that reflective screen, it just doesn't quite do it for me. But nowadays they have all kinds of cool mods. You can get an IPS screen, all that fun jazz, or you can just, you know, emulate it, play it on your freaking phone, you know, whatever you need to do. So again, in late 2002, we get Super Monkey Ball Jr. for the Game Boy Advance. After you pass about 5 logo screens, like seriously, there's a lot of logo screens for some reason, you can finally get into some fun Super Monkey Ball action. You can either play normal mode or you can try your hands at one of the mini games. You got Monkey Bowling, Monkey Golf, and Monkey Fight. You got 1 to 4 player action. What you do basically is you take turns playing. So player 1 goes, you hand the Game Boy off to someone else, and then they take a turn. Now there is actually one real-time multiplayer mode, Monkey Duel. You use this mode by playing with a link cable. You take your Game Boy, hook it up to your friend's Game Boy with a link cable. And you know, guys, I would totally show you some footage of me and a friend playing with the link cable, playing some Super Monkey Ball double action. But you know, that would be assuming that I actually had, you know, some friends. So back to the main game mode. Here you're going to find the classic Super Monkey Ball gameplay you may have come to know and love if you played it on the GameCube. In fact, a lot of the levels are just kind of ported over from Super Monkey Ball 1 on the GameCube. Of course, they had to make changes here and there because obviously the GameCube is much more powerful than Game Boy Advance, so they had to cut some things out and whatnot, make a few changes. The object of the game is pretty simple. You need to get to the finish line without falling off the stage, and you got to do it as fast as you can before the timer runs out. And along the way, collect as many of the spinning floating bananas as you can, and that's what's going to get you a higher score. You go faster, you get a higher score. You get more bananas, you get a higher score. Now, this is all easier said than done with Super Monkey Ball Jr. because, I don't know if you haven't noticed, the Game Boy does not have an analog stick. It just has a D-pad. So yeah, when you're playing Super Monkey Ball Jr. without the analog stick, it's a little tough. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying it's not fun. I'm saying it's harder. Would it be nicer to have an analog stick for a game like Super Monkey Ball? Yes. Would it be nice to have an upright banana joystick? Sure. But the D-pad will get it done, right? You get a little frustrated, you lose, you get a game over, but you restart, you try again. It's all good. Don't worry, guys. You can also use the points that you gain throughout the game to unlock some other stuff like some mini games, and you can also unlock things like unlimited continues, which is going to be really useful because, again, as I said, this game gets pretty freaking hard. I'm not going to lie. I haven't finished it. Don't judge me, guys. Okay, I'm not that good at Super Monkey Ball Jr. I'll admit it. But speaking of difficulty, the game actually has 4 different difficulty levels. You start at beginner with 10 levels, then you move on to advanced and you get 20 levels. Move on to expert, you get 30 levels, and finally you do master, which I've totally done, guys. You know, I've totally made to master. Easy peasy, right? But no, master is 5 levels, and there's some bonus levels thrown in. So in the end, you get around 65 main levels with a few extra bonus levels. And yeah, 65 levels, that's kind of a lot for a Game Boy game. Like, that's pretty good. So let's talk about the graphics. The graphics in this game are colorful. They're got this cutesy art style going on. You got freaking monkeys. Oh yeah, and speaking of the cutesy monkeys, I also didn't mention this, but there is 4 different monkey characters you can play as. You got 1, AA, I'm probably saying it wrong, but don't judge me. I'm sorry, I don't speak monkey. Mimi, Baby, and Gon Gon. All very cute, all very monkey. This game is also one of the few on the Game Boy Advance that take advantage of the 3D capabilities of the system. Basically, the whole level itself, other than the background, is all a 3D object. The characters are not 3D. I'm pretty sure the main character you're playing as is just like a sprite that changes as you move around, but it all looks pretty good in the end. Also, the backgrounds are pretty cool. Like, the backgrounds are like these big, crazy looking backgrounds. It makes the game feel very open and like you're just like a mile up in the air. And it also makes it feel more dangerous when you roll your poor baby monkey off the side of the cliff and he just falls. And he's just gone, man. Sorry, he's gone. Now, if we were to play this on an emulator and blow it up on your 4K monitor, it's gonna look a little janky, guys. I've looked at it on HD, blown it up on a screen, and yeah, it looks pretty janky. But then when I go back and I play it on a Game Boy on like a 2-inch screen, which it was made for, it looks sharp. It actually looks really good, and I really actually like the graphics a lot in this game. Just colorful, bright, fun, got that fun vibe. You got the announcer pumping you up all the time as well. Shout out to that guy, whoever he is. Awesome announcer voice.
Ready? Go! Go!
Super cool. So at the time of release, Super Monkey Ball Jr. actually got pretty favorable reviews. One of the things they cited as an issue, of course, was the lack of an analog stick, but it's the Game Boy. What are you going to do, right? So yeah, I would agree with these reviews. I really enjoy this game. One of the things I look for in a Game Boy game is just the ability to pick it up and play it for a few levels, put it down, come back later whenever I'm in a car ride or doing something where I just am bored and need something to do with my hands for a little bit. Pick up a Game Boy game, play some Super Monkey Ball, rage quit because it's freaking hard and I die and my monkey dies and he falls off the edge, put it back down, come back later, we play some more again because it has a save feature. I don't know if I said that. Probably not. It has a save feature. You can save the game, come back later, go back to the levels you were at, so you don't have to restart from the beginning every time, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, dude, this game's pretty fun. If you can get it, if you see it somewhere, pick it up for sure. It's definitely worth picking up, I would say. If you like Super Monkey Ball in general, definitely pick it up because I feel like it may be a little bit of a lesser known title in the series. I didn't know about it until I literally saw it at a store. I was looking through some Game Boy games. I'm like, Super Monkey Ball Jr. I never knew about this. So definitely check it out, guys. It gets a thumbs up for me for sure. Definitely play this one. So yeah, if you have any Super Monkey Ball memories, drop it in the comments below. Let me know. Hit that thumbs up button, guys, if you enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content, subscribe to the channel. We do a lot of retro gaming and retro tech stuff here on the channel, so check that out for sure. Thanks for hanging out today. Catch you later.